Okay. Hey, Planner Jam people, I'm recording now, and just so FYI, if you are planning on, hey, Sebastian Kitty, if you plan on commenting, then you have to unmute yourself. It looks right now like Megan and Christy are unmuted as well as myself. That's totally fine. Sometimes if we get a bunch of people, I might ask you to mute yourself unless you're actually talking, just because there gets to be a bunch of feedback. But anyway, yeah, so in the thread on Facebook where I was announcing this Planner Jam happening, my friend Alex Kashdan posted an article called "The Case for Using a Paper Planner," and there was some really cool things that it mentioned. Just that, like, one of the main things it says is that if you're using your phone, you tend to go into a bunch of different apps and for different purposes. And if you have, like, one of the things that I like about the planner is that everything's in one place and it's easy to flip through without having to remember what app you're in or whatever. And then also just like the idea that you can writing things down has a bit more of a tactical and learning kind of methodology to it. So anyway, it's a decent article if you wanted to go back and read that. It was posted on the New York Times January 4th, and it's by Kristen Wong. Hi, Allison. Let's see. So we have a kind of split between people who use the bullet journal and passion planner. And I know that some of you use other things too, and that's all good. And I'm really excited about geeking out with you guys about all of them. So the bullet journal, for people who don't know, is a method where you just take like whatever you have, whether it's just a piece of paper or like a notebook that's just empty with blank pieces of paper in it, or you can do what I do, which is sort of like a hybrid of bullet journaling. But I use a passion planner, but I do a bunch of the bullet journaling styles or exercises or something in my passion planner. So the bullet journal is really cool because, do any of you use a bullet journal? Yay, Danny, do you want to explain how you use it and what you like about it?
My bullet journal is a little bit of a, can I curse?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a clusterfuck. But that's what I like about it. It's really flexible. So I have everything from like vision boards that I've made to like sketches of costumes that I want to revise. And they have little printables that you can make of like weekly layouts that include things like my schedule where I can like put in everything that I'm doing, but also like habit trackers, meal planning.
Cool.
Pinterest is it's a rabbit hole for bullet journal stuff. It's just really flexible.
Yeah. Where do you get your printouts?
A lot of them are on Pinterest, but I follow this one resource. Let me pull her up for you. What is it called?
Hey, Nora. Welcome.
It's called Planner Love and Printables, and let me see if I can find the actual blog. But basically, it's a blog with different printables. But you can just like look up on Pinterest different printables, and they have like weekly spreads, and it's like for whatever your goals are. If you want to focus on creative stuff or goal setting or health stuff, like any kind of tracker, they have a whole bunch of different stuff.
Cool. Would you mind showing us one or two of the ones that you like using a bunch?
Yeah, like my trackers.
Yeah, the things that you like to print out and use.
Yeah, well, so the only one that I really print out is the weekly one, although I do have, like, for weight loss, there's this pretty one.
Oh, cool.
Which you can do for, like, any goal. That's just, like, one by one. I do this one for 90-day goals. I've been tracking my spending. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a few different ones. And also, I mean, so bullet journal started because they have like these dotted grids, and so the idea is that you can use like rulers to make whatever layout you want. So you can literally make it work for you no matter what layout you enjoy.
Yeah. And one of the other things that I like about the bullet journal, and sometimes they're called bujo. So like if you're looking on Instagram or things like that, if you do hashtag bullet journaling, you may or may not find it. But if you do hashtag bujo, BUGAO, there's a lot of things that pop up. Yeah. And let's see. So one of the things that I like about bujo is that's like on a certain day, like the idea is that you write down all the things that you have to do or that you have appointments for or whatever, and then there's a different tracking method for each of them, and I can't remember what the specific.
I can show you the key.
Oh, yes, please. The key. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's backward.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. So if you have like a task, you can tell whether you finished it or if you've migrated it to another day or if you've partially completed it. And what's the bottom of that?
You can migrate a task. So if you need to push it back.
Yeah. And then you can write down, like, I don't know if you saw at the bottom of Danny's there, it was like if you just wanted to write a note. So like a note to yourself, or if you have like inspiration, like there's another couple things. So you basically it's a running tally of like your life. And then you can forward it on to the next page if you want to or whatever. I find that those kinds of things are really helpful. And I've come up with my own sort of system with that as a base. But if you're interested in that, I highly recommend like looking into it and kind of trying some of those things. Yeah. Thanks, Danny.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah. So, okay. So on to Passion Planner. Do people that are on use Passion Planners? And does someone want to talk about how you use your Passion Planner?
Well, I got one last year for the first time, and I still feel like I'm struggling with it because one of the things that I really wanted to get out of it, that I liked how at the beginning it would ask you questions on, what your goals are. And what I really wanted to be able to do is to be able to look at what the goal is and then decide, okay, it'll take 3 months to get there, and be able to lay it out and plan it out in 3 months. And I have not been able to get anywhere near that whatsoever.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been still my biggest struggle as to how to lay it out and I guess keep up with it.
Yeah. Does anybody have any solutions on that they want to share?
Can I chime in?
Absolutely.
So, I had a Passion Planner last year, and I ended up doing the same thing where I took all this time to really thoughtfully like map out I forget what they do. It's like the mind map or goal map or whatever it is. And, but it was difficult for me to keep it up. Just the maintenance of it was really time consuming. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like what I like about the bullet journal is I can still do like the same kinds of reflection activities, goal mapping and things like that, but it just feels like it's more flexible. Because I totally feel you. I wrote these like really wonderful, thoughtful goals, and I would revisit them after a while. But then after a while, I kind of just like missed like whole weeks because it was so much time just to maintain the journal itself.
Yeah.
So I know
that's the whole thing. Like work on the goal rather than on the journal. And it's like,
right.
Which one's gonna give?
Yeah. So that's not really like helpful feedback so much as just like I'm like taking what you like and meshing it with something else.
Yeah. Yeah. So last year or 2 years ago, I used a Passion Planner. I really enjoyed it. And then this past year, my stepmother gave me, well, you can't even see it now. It's covered in stickers, but it's called the Inner Guide Planner. And it was okay. I mean, I think that it's really great for someone who's trying to do a lot of like introspection work and hasn't done a lot of that in the past. I feel like it was a planner that was a little bit like, I already do all of those things. So that was kind of like, yay, pat on the back for that. But at the same time, like I felt like there was a lot of wasted space and a lot of things that weren't really helpful for me. I do like so I'm going back to a Passion Planner. And in my Passion Planner, like one of the things that I like is just like how empty a lot of the spaces so that you can make it just be whatever it is that you want it to be. And that's where I end up using a lot of the bullet journaling stuff, is just like in all of that extra space. As far as setting goals and keeping up with them, that's something that I have struggled with too, Christy. And I think that one of the things that has helped me the most is this thing where, let me see if I can find an example. So I will set up a week or a month or whatever, and I'll put things that are goals in my planner as Post-it notes. And then I go back and, or, you know, as I come to them, if I actually do them, I fill them in with marker. And so that, and if I don't, I just move them forward to another place. So the Post-it allows me to have like some flexibility, and it doesn't like put it in my planner as a indelible thing that I feel shitty about. It just gives me something like, this is what you're shooting for, and if you actually accomplish it, you get to like mark it in with the same colored marker or whatever. And then I can look at my week and say, oh, like I was super productive and I did everything that I tried to do or had planned to do. Or I did half of them or whatever, but just like, it's sort of this like positive feedback cycle where I get a little bit of like, I like the, what's it called? Like, I like the accolades that I feel like I have when I use the marker to fill in a few boxes.
Oh, I get that part. I love checking things off. So yes, I can understand that.
Yeah. And for some reason it like works better for me to like see it visually in a spread, as the time that I spend on it. That's one of the reasons that I like the Passion Planner, because it has all of the time rather than just a box to check off. Like cleaning the kitty litter is sadly one of the things that I have to put in my journal, or else I forget to do it, or I don't do it as often as I should. But that doesn't have the same weight as like spending 5 hours on a huge project. And so like if they both just are written down and I'm just marking them off, like that's quantity over quality, and I prefer quality over quantity, if that makes sense. Yeah. Any other notes or questions about the Passion Planner? Just to kind of give you oh, go ahead, Flissy.
Well, I was thinking, one of the things that I'm trying this time is writing not just what I plan to do in there, but also what I have done. Because when I went back to do like some of the reflective exercises at the end of the month last year, I would look back and I'm like, okay, like I checked off this box, but like what exactly happened that day? What was my practice like, or what were the details of this, whatever task it was?
Yeah.
And so I'm experimenting this year with filling in, like using it also as a journal.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else has used it that way, or if you have any insights on how you've done that and how you've noted, like color coded it, like to do and done, or
Yes. Let me show you. So this is this past week. Let me put it in this week. All right. So, sorry. There we go. So this is 1 week, and basically, a lot of the things that are, if they are outlined with black, like I write it in, but I also put a black outline, that means it's an appointment and it's something that I have to do no matter what. And then like the yellow, this is all my work. And then basically I use it the same way as you just said, as a journal, going back and writing everything that I did during the day. So it's kind of like a record of how I spend my life. And then this is my my color coding key for the year. And that's another thing that I wanted to talk about, is just like markers and washi tapes and stuff. So the markers that I have used for the past several years, as far as highlighters, these are the Sharpie highlighters. And they're super vibrant, and they actually last a pretty long while, and they never fade. Like, I find that some of the more like generic highlighter things end up like fading after a while. The ink just kind of fades. But the Sharpie highlighters don't. I just got these highlighters, which are zebra midliners. I don't know if you can see that. There's all kinds of different colors. There's like pastel colors. There's more earth tone colors. It was one of my Christmas presents that my stepmom gave me this year. My stepmom like totally enables my planner habit. It's awesome. Yeah. Lissy, do you have more questions about that?
No.
Okay.
Not on that particular topic.
Okay.
Hey, is this thing on?
Yeah.
You're hearing me? This is Nora. Hey, I'm going to just be all obsessive with my friction pen. I don't know if you can see it. This is actually the skinnier one. I have a 4 ink one.
Ooh.
And my God, I was so excited when I filled out my whole week, like in January, and realized that I filled out everything on the wrong week, and then I just erased it all. So you can move stuff forward, move stuff back. It's funny because I know a lot about ink, and I was a little obsessed with these. So it's a lot of fun. They have them in highlighters too, and it really takes the sting out of, oh, well, I didn't get to do that at all, did I? No, I'll just get rid of it. Or, it feels like you have a lot more flexibility when you do that. I mean, I get the rewarding yourself with stickers because we all love stickers, and stickers are super cute. And I've seen some lately. I'm like, oh my God, I should get stickers. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm rarely going to get to do that. But it really does help, especially and plus he was talking about using it as a diary, and you are too. I get so many interruptions. And I like had this whole day, and I was going to do this. Oh, and then this meeting popped up, and this ad hoc hallway conversation happened, and I can just add stuff and be like, okay, we're moving over there. And I used to just circle stuff and move it over, but now I can just be like, okay, nope, it's gonna be tomorrow.
And say again what those are. The friction pen?
Yeah, they're Friction by Pilot. It's FRIXION, and they come, you can just get them in a simple blue, like if you still want to use all your awesome things for everything else, that's totally fine. If you just want to get one, I mean, it's not different than a pencil really, except that it comes in colors, and it comes in really super fine point. I end up with the smaller size. I debate this every year if I'm going to get like the big, like 10 by 12, and I just don't want the weight. This is thick, but it's a little smaller and can fit into a number of different types of bags. So, but you can get down to a 0.05 millimeter head on it, and that's pretty useful. They come even smaller, I think, but I find like the 0.3 just skips a lot.
Wait, does that fade from the pages rubbing together? It doesn't rub it off?
No, it takes a good deal of friction. Like the eraser really has to heat up a little bit. They've got all these little tips for if it disappears, because if you leave it in a hot car, you can pop it in the freezer and it reappears. And it totally does. Like I looked at the technology of it, and it's kind of brilliant.
It's magic.
Yeah. It's different from the paper mate erasables that they had years ago, where it was much more, and then you have those like really embedded lines and you can't get rid of them. But I mean, I can do close up like of that week if you want to see it.
Cool.
So let's see. Can I even find it? Yeah, so here's a little, the resolution is probably not good enough, but this was something I had put in there and erased totally to move it back.
Yeah, you can't see it.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Cool. Thanks for sharing. So that reminds me of another thing that I wanted to share, which is a new thing that I just found. It's a woman named, Chelsea Brown Design. She's on Instagram as Chelsea Brown Designs. That's probably the easiest place to find her. And then she has a link to her Etsy there. But she has just a bunch of stickers that fit specifically in passion planners.
Ooh.
This is one that I use. It's a weekly habit tracker. And she has them for weekly, and this is one that's for monthly, and I really like the monthly habit tracker. And then she also has these tabs for the different months. And
oh, that's really useful.
yeah, really different, all different colors, so you can like make it, you know, gray. You can make it match your planner, like I tried to do. I realized like I got two sets of the months, so that one is for the monthly display and then one is for the weekly displays. And I think, and because I have like one of the ones that you fill out yourself, so in the one where it's already filled out, like if you get a dedicated 2018, then you don't need to worry about it. But the one that I have, like all of the monthly ones are at the beginning of the book and all the weeklies are after. Anyway, I realized like I would get two sets, two different colors, because this way it's just like a little bit too confusing. They're all the same. But anyway, yeah, they're really nice. I mean, they fit perfectly, and they're meant to like fit 12 across and down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Nice.
pretty nice.
So I was thinking of doing that, or using the back pages as well, the blank pages and the grid pages as bullet journal type stuff, or regular other meetings that I have that are like once a month meetings, and then keeping those. And that's a good way of using tabs in the back too. It's
Yeah.
lovely old technology.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if I can find these other tabs that I really like. I know they're around here somewhere. I like these extra thick tabs that, oh, I think they're in here. Just kidding. No, I don't know where they went. Anyway, they're just, here's an example of one. So this is my planner from last year, and there's like these little tabs, but they end up getting all smushed and gross. But it's these tabs that are like that, and they're like super sturdy, and they don't ever mess up. And that one, that exact tab that I just showed you, like I use that. You can see that the stickiness part is like a little bit darker than the rest, because I used it for 2 years straight. And like every week, this one just says today, and I just like, or every week I would just put it on the next week so that I would know where my where I needed to go. But it lasted forever. I mean, I guess in the Passion Planner you don't necessarily need that because you have this. But one thing that I did 2 years ago when I was using my Passion Planner is I would keep a list of my to-dos. And then, you know, whenever, like throughout the week, I'm adding more to-dos, and some of them I'm getting done and some of them I'm not. And so like every month or so, I would just go to the last time I had written out all of my to-dos, and then I would rewrite them on another blank page and add all the ones that I hadn't finished in the meantime. And so like I have this like large to-do page, and it ends up being like this sort of wish list of things to do. Because sometimes you actually accomplish them, and sometimes you're like, not going to happen this year or tomorrow or whatever.
I think it gives you a realistic idea. I mean, you're a stats geek too, right? So it just ends up being this like mounting thing of, oh, I want to do all these things, like a histogram of all the things I've done or haven't done, but you have to give yourself permission to say it's not realistic. You know, you can't, and then, or delegate, or you learn to be able to delegate and say, you know what, somebody else does that. Oh my word.
Yeah. And they're all like organized, like
it's fearsome. This
is like creative. This is my paddle on and book stuff. This is my, I don't know. They all have different, you know, they're in different sections.
That would stress me out.
So don't do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. So it says that we have 10 minutes to finish up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's kind of, I thought I had a whole, anyway, I don't know why. So yeah, so we have 10 minutes before it's going to shut us off.
Well, I'm going to say there's one thing that I'm completely intrigued about doing. I've been thinking about it for a year, and this will be the year I do it. And mostly because I saw a prompt for somebody who's selling something like this already. But if anybody has done like the hierarchy of needs thing, or the Stephen Covey, like important, not important, urgent, not urgent, I've been thinking about making a stamp to just do that in every week, and every week's layout, and be like, no, I really need to get this done. Yeah. And then as things fill in, I can be like, oh, I want to do that. And the want to do that but not important is the things that are the easy reward. So I'm thinking about stamping that in everyone. And I just want to, but instead of buying, like making my own, I really want to, make an order for that. Maybe it would be perfect. But I saw these great little things. I don't know if you can see this.
Oh,
there's
cool.
the Coordinate. And a bunch of people have made them for kids who are doing XY graphs in school, so they don't spend all this time trying to be perfectionists about making the stupid graph, but it just is pre-inked and it's got little spots, and just make it 1 through 5 or 1 through whatever, or home life, work, or pets, projects, whatever. It might be a really great way of like sorting that in your head.
That's a great idea. I like that.
Stamps.
Yeah, stamps and stamps and stickers are really awesome. Cool. Let us know if you end up doing that. Also, that reminded me of something I can't remember. Anybody else?
Somebody's got a favorite thing. Come on.
I'm just here to learn, because last year I literally only filled out January and I didn't make it through the month. So I just went to the back to December and marked out all the days. So now December of last year is January. It's so sad. All my days are marked out. And I'm going to try again. And then if I actually make it to December, then I'll buy a new one.
Nice.
I have some where the weeks are like insanely filled and then the weeks are just blank.
Yeah.
Give yourself that ease.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that I did recently, my cousin's getting married, so I just like highlighted the date of the wedding with some washi tape that has hearts on it. Like I have a bunch of washi tape because it's nice and peels off without like ripping the page. But I don't use it very much, and so this year I'm just trying to like have more fun with that. Let's see. A friend of mine who, if you guys have watched any of the Awaken Authenticity interviews, one of them was with a guy named Jeff Tomasetti, and he is an awesome guy. And he sent me this morning his planner, which I thought was brilliant. It's just like a Word document. And it's just, let me pull it up. It's a Word document that he made of the things that he wants to be aware of every day and make sure, or like block off that he did them or not. And it just has like at the top of the, let's see if I can share my screen really quick. Share my screen. Desktop, that's good. All right, so I have a million things open, but this is it. You can see the awareness with flow and just the date, and then kind of his morning: coffee, quiet, weights, yoga, hot tub, row, eating, biking, and then work time, and then music and social stuff and booze and junk food and book and painting and keeping his partner happy and home repair and puppy and keeping fun stuff and top 3 objectives, and then a truth. Like, it's super, super simple. And I don't know, I just thought that was pretty cool that he made that for himself. and he wanted to share that. So if any of you are interested in having that, just message me and I'll send that to you, because it's kind of fun and simple. All right, well, thank you guys for joining me tonight. Anybody want to say anything else before we head out?
Thanks for hosting. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Next, maybe we could do another one soon and have and kind of go through the prompts for the year, kind of outlook of the year. Bye, guys.
Bye, hon. Thank you. Bye, everybody.